What's up everybody? So today is our latest project where I'm going to show you step by step of how we did this. These are real pieces of wood. Stay tuned for the whole video. Alright, so this is actually a pretty expensive wall. This is what you call cladding. This is an Arctic tile. You can see we wrapped it around here and we wrapped it around here, and it goes all the way above here because this is a room in here that's got a nice little modern fireplace. Anyways, we decided to take this down and make it a little more subtle. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this for under about 200 bucks. Alright, so first things first, get yourself knotty pine. This is a really nice, smooth, finished wood. You're going to stain this dark walnut. Step one, lay these down on the floor. One of these has a smoother side. Put side that's smooth up, and that's the side that we're going to be staining. Then grab a microfiber towel, one that doesn't release any fibers or strings when you rub this against it. And now we just go back and forth with the rag. It literally takes a second. Now we're going to do 2 layers just to get it a little darker. It takes about 5 minutes in between the layers. So here's what it looks like when they're all kind of done. So now we got to remove this one, and we got to remove this one, and this one. We're gonna have to blend this in with putty, and then we're gonna put the wallpaper all the way up like we did with the other one. We do have to patch all this stuff up because you need to make sure that you have a very smooth facade underneath the wallpaper. It doesn't have to be super perfect because we're gonna be obviously nailing these in, and then that's gonna cover all the imperfections. So we are using the dust control sheetrock. We just picked it up at Home Depot, and this is our first layer. There's a lot of big holes here, so we patched it all up. And then we do a light sand, and then we're going to put our wallpaper on, and then we're going to start attaching our wood. We're at the stage where we've put 3 coats of drywall compound. We even added an edge. These are essentially metal edges that create a nice solid straight edge. All the way from here on, I've already sanded it. I wet dried it because you want to make sure all the dust is off. So now we're going to go and grab our wallpaper, and we're going to apply it here. So this is the peel and stick wood grain. They're waterproof to an extent. It's got an adhesive on the back. It definitely looks like wood. All you need is a sharp knife, an X-Acto knife, and a squeegee, and some patience. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you're going to measure off 12 inches because that's the width of the wallpaper from the edge wherever you're going. This will give us a nice straight line so we can continue on placing the pieces. You do want to overlap them, maybe like 1/8 of an inch as well. But if you wouldn't necessarily have a piece of wood, then I would probably just say bump them joint to joint. So let's put the roll on the floor, and we're going to go all the way up to the very top here to our crown molding. And now we're going to go and cut that. Okay. Now if you are not smooth and you have any prickles, you will feel it. But because this wallpaper is about 1/32 of an inch, it will cover some imperfections, and you're not going to see any divots or any imperfections from afar. Only if you were to touch them, you're actually going to see them. So now you can take the squeegee, or you can use your hand and just kind of press in to make sure that it all goes into the edge. And we're going to start peeling and using our squeegee. The next step is to wrap this around and cut this up here. So to do that, we're going to first figure out with our finger and create like a line here, and we want to take this part and we're going to cut this way. Now we're going to leave a little bit of an overlap. Tuck it and then just go as straight as you can, and then again use your hand to apply it. And once it's completely pressed in here, the next step is simply cut the trim off. Now from the bottoms, because we've cut out some of the old cladding, now we have this giant hole around this. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this in with some grout or glue, but I think I'm going to use glue. And this is the glue that we're using, Aqua Pro. You can again buy this online or at any hardware store. This is for tiling essentially. And this is after we've applied the glue. And the grain, you can see it's how nice and smooth it is. Once this dries, we're just going to clean up the excess. Now we're ready for next step, which is adding these. So we're going to start off with the edge and the inner edge. We're going to grab our PL8X, put little dabs of glue in the center, because once we press it, it's going to spread outward. So that's why you want to put them on the center. Now this is obviously pre-cut because we are going to be tiling the top, so you can see I drew a line where my tile is gonna be. So once we place this tile is going to nicely sit straight like that. Normally I'd probably tile first, but I'm going to just use this, and I'm gonna use this to hold it up in place as it's drying, because it's kind of difficult to hold tiles up vertically. So let's go and press this. Remember, that's gonna be flat at the bottom, and all we're doing is just pressing against this. All right, now we're not gonna shoot this in place. We're going to glue this one so we can have a nice tight bond right here where you don't actually see the seam. Now position both of them as close and tight as you can so you don't have to re-silicone this, and we're gonna shoot this. All right, and I'm pretty happy with the way this is turning out. And now, as always, just make sure that you're nice and plump. So now that both of them are done, the next steps are quite easy. We just have to figure out the gap in between. So we've placed this piece here as a guide, and now we're gonna be adjusting it and shooting all the way going to the top. And we're shooting, pulling it in, shooting, shooting, pulling it in, shooting. The next one's gonna be against this edge here. You can see that the line is still intact here. And then we're going to put the third one in the center, making sure the space here and here is even. And then here we're gonna fill in with grout when we're done. So now that all three are in, I'm quite happy with it. We've cleaned up the whole bottom as well. Much nicer and cleaner. All right, so let's keep going and attach the next one, which we're going to place right on here. And we're gonna go as close as we can. So we decided to take this floor plank, we scratched it up so there's some adhesion for the glue, and we're gonna place this here. The reason we're doing this is because we are missing some height here before we place the tile on. So now we're gonna screw that in, and now we're ready to place our glue on this tile. We're placing this right here, push this in, and now we're gonna support that with this, and then this is going to essentially just dry overnight. We're going to get another piece of this, and we're going to stretch it right from the bottom of the tile here and wrap it like this. I'm going to take some glue from here, and then we're going to spread it on the edge of this tile. It doesn't really matter that the grain is not lining up, because once we put these on and spread them out, you won't even tell. So let's shooting them in. Here it is very smooth, but the bumps are like this because whoever created this house or the walls didn't necessarily do a super job. Now just make sure that there's no dust. So you get some water in the damn cloth. So now we're gonna go and grab our second roll, and we're gonna go and cover this up, and I'm gonna show you how well it covers. We're gonna continue pressing this down, covered all the imperfections, and now we're gonna go and cut this. Pull as we did before and apply. Press inwards and secure this in place. Look how smooth this is. Not only can you barely feel all those imperfections, you can't obviously see them. All right, so this is how bad this whole area is, and I've already started to place this wallpaper. That already all those imperfections are lost. And this is after the whole switch is done. Now we've also cut a piece right here, and we went to the top, and then we went and cut this piece here to separate it and went to the bottom. So at this point we're pretty much done, which is where we're ending the video. We just have to do those last few and cut our tile, but now you know exactly how to create something this beautiful. So if you're looking to create a nice slatted wall and make use of these really inexpensive contact papers, vinyl decorative peel and stick wallpapers, now you know how. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.